Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of Ear to Ear Podcast with C. Ray and Lanny Moe. I am C. Ray, and that beaming ray of sunshine on the other side of the screen there is Lanny Moe. Lanny, how you doing this evening, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Ready to go. What's up?
You got stuff to go in on today, do you?
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's what we like. Well, another good day here on the mountain. It's going to snow a little bit at my house tonight, so I'm kind of excited about that. I really miss winter, but that's nonsense. Come on now. That's what I miss about living in Morgantown is actually having snow, man. We got some stuff to cover tonight. First thing, we want to give a shout out to the West Virginia men's soccer team. They did fall to Clemson in the College Cup. Dude, those guys, I'm not a huge soccer fan, but I do watch it every now and then. And those guys seem like they put their hearts into that. And I hate to see them lose. It's not the ending we wanted, but an ending to be proud of. Those guys had a historic season as far as West Virginia soccer goes. So congrats to those guys on making it that far. Just know that even us mediocre soccer fans here at Ear to Ear still love you guys and are proud of what you guys accomplished this year.
I know nothing about the football. But, I know you kick it around and try to go, but I know you made it to the best 4 in the nation. Congrats. That's all that matters. And West Virginia fans across or half of us don't know what the hell it all is about. You run up and down the field and do the best at kicking football. But congratulations in the top 4 teams in the nation.
Absolutely. That's essentially what it is. It was essentially the Final Four for soccer. So congratulations to those guys. Funny thing I saw on Twitter, Lanny, Marshall was like thanking Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
Because they beat us. Did you see this, though, where the Marshall fans were like, thank God Clemson beat WVU. That means we can still be the only D1 school in West Virginia with a national championship. And I'm like, I know that rifle isn't like everybody's go-to sport, but hold on. I think it's like 16 times we've won that. It is what it is. Huh? They're
going to hang up the same – Florida State gets a chance to hang up the same banner that Marshall has this year. They can call themselves national. Dude, that kills me whenever there's a school out there. They go undefeated in something and they don't get a shot. I get it, whatever. Then you're going to hang up your own banner and call yourself national champions. No one beats us at tailgating. And it's like, we pregame harder than your team practices. And I don't know. But Marshall, I don't even want to go in on it because my blood pressure goes up. And I don't want to talk about our little brother down there. And
Huntingdon, West Virginia. Listen, man, I'll admit it. I root for the Thundering Turds when they're Thundering Herd. I'm sorry. I root for the Thundering Herd when they're not playing against us. I do because they're still a state school. I still want them to do well as far as their stuff goes. But I probably will root for them a little less moving forward, just based on how their reaction was to WVU losing. It's little brother energy.
I have a huge problem with Marshall. I can't stand him. Honestly, I think if I knew somebody from here in Mon County, Morgantown, that had a full ride to Marshall, I'd be like, go to Fairmont State. Just walk on at Fairmont State instead of taking your full ride to Marshall. Hate them because they truly believe they're competitive with us. Right. That really bothers me. And they want to say it's a rivalry at things, and it's like, it's not a rivalry because if you would happen to it's a no-win situation. If you happen to beat us, we have to hear about that forever. We beat you in 19 whatever, and that's what scared the hell out of me whenever we went down to they had us beat when we played them in football, 10 years ago under Stu.
Yeah, and something like that.
They had us beat.
Yeah.
And those ones where if West Virginia would ever lose to Marshall on the football field, you have to hear about it for the next 100 years.
Yeah, well, you're right. And the flip side of that is if we beat Marshall, everyone says, well, yeah, you should have. It's Marshall, blah, blah, blah. But if we lose to them, you talk, oh, your season's done, you suck.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. And I agree. It's little brother energy is what it is, man. It's like Marshall's that little brother that you beat in one-on-one in basketball every time you play. So the one day you really just don't feel like playing, you go out and dribble a little bit, and you kind of let him win, and then that's all he talks about for the next year at every dinner.
Yeah. And
then how they beat you.
And then you got to drag his ass out on the court a week later and just out of it.
Hey, do you remember here a couple years ago? Oh, it's been a few years now when we played them in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Okay, and some people at my job that I was at the time, were big Marshall fans. Of course, living down here in Charleston, that's we got our fair share of WVU fans, obviously, but we got a lot of Marshall fans down here. And man, all I heard from these people were like, "Yeah, we're really competitive this year. I think we could beat you. I think we could beat you. We really can. We got the players." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I'm like, "Come on, let's be honest. You guys aren't going to beat us." I said, "You might make it a little closer. Might be a close game. Y'all might be a little competitive, but you're not going to win." "Oh, that's not true. We can. We're going to beat you guys. We're going to beat you guys." We beat them by 30?
It was like 30, yeah, it was
and
a lot.
Nope.
Just beat on them.
Nobody wanted to text me back that night. None of them would text me back that night. Nobody would talk to me the next day. The next day at work, we were going down the road, going to a site, and nobody wanted to talk about basketball anymore all of a sudden. So it's funny how that works.
Crickets
is right. But speaking of basketball, first off, let's talk about the women's team, right? Did you see they played Delaware State today and beat Delaware State 107-43? I mean, what do you say? What do you say about these girls, dude? They're not, I think 9-0 after today. Yeah. They're perfect right now. And here's the thing. And a guy that I like on Twitter, Micah Stee, said this, and it's a great point. Not only are they beating the teams they're supposed to be beating, but they are destroying them. They are killing them. I mean, dude, 107-43.
That's what good teams do. That's exactly what good teams do. You beat up on the teams you're supposed to beat up on, and you're right. You play with and you beat the teams that are on your playing field.
I mean, what Penn State rolled into Morgantown here a couple weeks ago, ranked. What were they? I don't remember what their ranking was at the time, but the girls beat them 83-65. I believe the score was
Fencing.
Yes. Yeah. Almost a 20-point lead against a ranked team is a convincing win for sure. I mean, these girls are rolling hot right now. So shout out to the women's basketball team, man. I hope you guys keep going with it. You guys roll as long as you can on that hot streak because it is looking good right now. I mean, dude, that JJ Quinterly, I think's her name. She's a freaking baller, dude. She is a baller. So good job on the girls, man. They are killing it, and we hope they continue to do so. And we're all watching because it is big news right now. I think that coach they hired, I hate to say it, his name is Kellogg. Yes, thank you. Dude, a pretty damn good hire right now. He's looking like he's got something real cooking in the kitchen. So let's hope that continues. But let's move into men's basketball, man. The guys went 50-50 on the week, lost the backyard brawl to Pitt. Beat Drexel, but I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel right now about the basketball team.
Pitt shot lights out.
What's that one kid? That one kid's named Brinson or Benson or something like that.
Brian, Kobe Bryant. No, too
soon. Too soon.
But I'm telling you, man, Pitt absolutely shot the lights out at the Coliseum. I'm good for probably about 10 games a year. I openly admit I don't got time to go because of the games. They have weekday games and stuff, but went to the Pitt game, and man, and I tell you what, I enjoyed the Pitt fans coming down and running their mouths, and they deserved it, and because their team absolutely shot lights out, and Pitt looked good. Jeff Capel, I thought he'd have a more competitive, faster, but Pitt gets something down the court, and they got a very, very good kick in, kick out game. They got a couple 6'10" guys that are around the basket, and they really don't try to score. What they do is have people collapse upon them, and they get the ball to their shooters. And the sad thing is, West Virginia, we don't make open shots, and we don't. And for one, and two, our shooters will pass up shots.
Yeah.
And that's what Aller was saying. He's like, I got to get on the guys to shoot the ball. So this year is going to be, it's going to be bad. It's going to be rough. You know, all we can do is cheer for them, scream at them, and cry with them. So in a weird way, but I did not watch the Drexel game because my eyes was probably still hurting from the Pitt game. Yeah, honestly, but yeah, it's one of those. So how did they do against Drexel?
So it was relatively similar a feel at first as it was in the Pitt game. The big difference, in my opinion, was a couple guys made some shots. A couple guys got to see the ball go through the hole. And, you know, as somebody that played, you know, basketball as long as I did, a lot of the times that can really help your mentality when you're in a slump or you don't really have a lot of confidence, but you see that ball go through the hole a couple times, you start to get some confidence, you start to take more shots, you know, you start to get there. We had a couple guys do that. The biggest thing I thought was, well, one of the biggest differences to me was when they come out in the second half, I kind of was looking for them to start getting tired halfway through the second half, because that's kind of been the elephant in the room this year, right? We've been competitive with teams or winning with teams in the first half, and then in the second half we kind of fall off the edge because we don't have the guys to sub in, so our guys are getting tired, and you know you're starting to get your legs start to get tired, and you know when that happens when guys start hitting the front of the rim every shot, you know guys are getting tired because their legs are getting out under them. But I don't know where they got it from. But, you know, maybe a kook was the deciding factor here, but it seemed like they had enough energy to play the whole second half. So, you know, it's Drexel. I don't know how much you put into beating Drexel, but it's still a win. Some guys saw the ball go through the hole, which gave them some confidence. And it seemed like, you know, this coming week, I think we get Cursa back.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's going to be another set of legs that we can sub in and out of there. I don't know how Kobe's going to feel about that, because I know that Kobe's kind of been running the team, but I think he kind of is expecting to give that role up when Cursa comes back.
Well,
I mean, that was the whole reason for Cursa to come here.
Well, it actually puts Kobe into a two guard,
right?
And it takes the pressure off of him to run the offense and kind of be a scorer. So now he can be a movement part of the offense.
Right.
But Chris, let Chris kind of run what's going on. So
right.
I think you're going to see a little bit of a difference. I really do. And I just hope everything just starts meshing better, you know, as the season goes. Because now it's Big 12. I mean, I think it's Big 12 action from here on.
No, I think we got two more out of conference games.
Okay.
I think our first conference games against Houston on January 6th, I believe, and I think we have 2 or maybe 3 games between now and then. Wow. So we got a couple more out of conference games to shape up on, but I think you're right. I think we are going to see a different style, you know, as we get players back. The thing for me is, you know, at the beginning of the year, all these people were calling for, you know, Allard's head. You know, he's not the guy. I mean, you know, it seems like a lot of people weren't taking into consideration the situation that the guy was thrown into. And I think already we are seeing a little bit better of a system than we did in the beginning, you know, in the first couple games. And I think that's going to continue as conference play starts and everything. 1 game above 500. That's where we finish this year. 1 game above 500. Bookmark it now. 1 game above.
You can have that. I'm just I don't think so. I think they win a total of about 13 games.
Oh, come on. They win more than 13 games. Get out of here with that. We already won 4. You're telling me they're not going to win more than 9 games the rest of the year? We'll see. We'll see. I can't see that. I think they can do it. I think the more they play together, and if it so happens, you know, this whole Raekwon battle situation, a lot of people, I don't know what the latest is you've heard on that, but I guess West Virginia AG Patrick Morrissey is going with 7 other states filing lawsuits against the NCAA. Battle has his own personal attorney that is doing the same. And a slight however slight it may be, possibility that if now my wife has tried to explain this to me, but I'm not a lawyer, so I just kind of I understand, honey. But I guess the way this kind of can work is if it gets before a judge this week and the correct injunction is made, he could be eligible this week, regardless of what the NCAA says, and play until some court thing happens later down the road with the NCAA. Like I said, I don't know how a lot of that works. Though, that's that's in my wife's closet, man, not mine. But
I don't know what the NCAA. I've said this for a while. I have no idea what the NCAA does. I don't understand their organization, umbrella. Why all these colleges run them? I don't know what they do for these schools.
Other than pick and choose which kids they want to screw over. Here's the problem I have with what they've done with Raekwon Battle right now. Okay, everybody knows the story. Everybody knows what he's going through. There are 2 players that have been waived in the last 2 weeks, and their only reasoning being my coach left, and those were granted. Which is the exact reason that Battle ended up at WVU, because his coach at Montana. I think he got fired. I don't think he left. I think they fired him. So that was what his transfer was, plus all the personal stuff that he's dealt with. The guy has more than enough reason to be cleared to play. Here's my personal opinion on it. Do you remember a few years ago when Sean Alston sued the NCAA, and that's how NIL came to be? You remember that?
Weird way, yes.
I sincerely think that this is the NCAA holding a grudge against West Virginia University, saying, hey, you're a guy that sued us for all the NIL crap and unfortunately has created, in my opinion, I'm not against NIL. I think it has really played a part in ruining college sports in a way. I agree that the guys need to be compensated, to an extent for what they do, because these schools are making millions of dollars a year off of the backs of these student athletes. And I get it. However, I think it's been a wild, wild west for the last couple of years. Has really changed the landscape of college sports, and I don't think in a much positive way. But anyway, Sean Alston, WVU guy, he's the reason the NCAA got screwed and started losing money because of NIL now. And I think now this is the NIL kind of breaking one off in us after that, kind of as a revenge thing. That's my personal opinion. I don't,
do that.
That's just an opinion. Don't have anything to back it up. It seems like something they would do. They moved the goalposts, for the requirements, much like the playoff committee on who gets into the college playoff. They moved the goalposts. The NCAA is the same way, man. I'm still hot about that, Laney. Still hot about that.
I can tell.
But I don't know, man. So anyway, if we get him back, if we happen to get him back, to get Cursa back, I think things come together.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Just with the flow and being able to give fresh legs, to you know what I'm saying, to be able to take breaks and sub in and out and get some fresh legs out there. So I just don't understand why some guys get the waiver and some don't. And it's way above my Osage education. So,
they didn't teach you about the NCAA in Osage Elementary?
No.
I don't know, man. It is what it is, I guess, at this point. But let's just hope something happens here. I think things are going to turn around. I think there's some potential in this team. But listen, I'm not saying they're going to run to the Elite Eight and be a Cinderella story. I'm just saying I think they're going to finish at least one game above 500. So, all right, cool. You agree with that? No, but you're going to let me run with it?
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't have anything.
Fair enough, man. Something I want to get your opinion on, Lanny. The football transfers, the portal opened up this past week, and as usual, everything has gone nuts. I think right now we're up to 11 or 12 players from WVU. Last I counted. I don't know. I don't think there's a whole lot of them that are real big losses, except Mike Lockhart.
Yeah.
Lockhart, I think, is a pretty big loss for us.
I think West Virginia, the Country Roads Trust or whatever, reached out pretty quick to some of the major contributors like
Jaheim White.
Yeah, Jaheim White, Cole Taylor, and I mean these guys were pretty much like I saw on the Twitter, which you can follow us on. We have the Twitter X account, whatever, formerly Twitter.
Hey,
But
we're up.
like,
We're up to 30 followers now.
Yes.
Hey!
Hey.
We're averaging, I think we've had our Twitter for like 10 days. We're at right now, 10 days, 12 days. We're averaging almost 3 followers a day, Lanny.
Hey. What it is. Yeah, I saw on the Twitter, just that shit, man. I forgot what I was talking about. Honestly, that they were making their announcement like I'm staying here. I'm trusting this university. I'm trusting this program that that they're building something special here, and I really do. And the biggest thing is keeping, and it really bothers me to my soul whenever a guy who gets a lot of playing time leaves. I can totally see injuries. I can totally see homesick, or
I'm on third string and I'm not getting a lot of reps.
I get that.
Yeah.
But to leave for money, you came here for a reason. Now West Virginia University's developed you, and then now you're gonna bail. That really bothers me, and I feel that way for any of these schools. Even like a Penn State player, wide receiver, for example, leaving because he thinks he's going to make more money and get more exposure in a high flying offense somewhere. Well, why didn't you go to the high flying offense out of high school? You went to Penn State or wherever. I'm just saying this,
right?
But and it makes me really root for the guy that came here as a freshman, or like a Beanie Bishop. He came from Minnesota, and Minnesota had a pretty good defense, but he also came here as a graduate transfer.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, they're not leaving because they're grad transfers. They're leaving because they want to go make your money. I get it. Go get your chicken, as I can't remember his name right now. One of my favorite running backs ever. Super Bowl. They didn't throw him the ball. Darn it.
No, I don't watch enough NFL.
Beast mode.
I don't watch enough NFL, man.
Play for Cal University.
Dude, I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. I have watched hardly anything this year. We suck.
Just thinking of names, I can't think of it. But anyway, it's like he's like, go get yours.
Yeah, and I'm here for it. Like I am. I'm here for it. It kind of goes back to what I was saying here a few minutes ago with the NIL stuff. Like I get it. I get wanting to go to the highest bidder per se, where you're going to make the money. But what that has done, in my opinion, has destroyed a sense of loyalty and commitment. The word commitment, doesn't mean anything. And you know how you solve this? I'm sorry. I don't know how, everyone's like, well, these are college athletes. Turn them into the NFL. I'm sorry. You might as well make it a G League for the NFL, right? You got all these kids, they're bouncing around just like free agents every freaking year. So, yeah, that's kind of the problem with it being a wild, wild west situation is everybody's doing whatever they want right now, and there's hardly any rules about it. Make it like the NFL. Make them sign contracts. Make them sign a contract that's going to bound them to be there, or you want to leave, here's the price you pay for that because you don't want to be loyal to a contract that you signed. And it goes same thing for realignment. Kind of making a tangent here. This whole realignment crap, everybody's starting to talk about the ACC is going to implode and what teams are going to go where and all this other crap. You know what you do? Here's how we solve this. You divide the country in the middle, north to south. You divide the country in the middle, east to west, right? You have 4 super conferences. You got the Northeast, the Southeast, which I guess the SEC gets to keep their name.
Yeah.
You got the Northwest, you got the Southwest. All right. You play, out of conference, play a couple teams in other parts of the country. You play everybody in your conference, and the top 6 teams in each conference The 1 and 2 get a bye, 3 and 4 battle it out, and then you got your four winners of each division of the East and West, I guess, or North South, however you want to do it. You got your 4 winners. The 2 play each other. That gives you 2 to go to the college Super Bowl. Just play NFL. Get rid of the freaking voting. Get rid of all the computer crap. It's results driven. It's a results driven playoff. And guess what? If you're Alabama and you got beat in the 3rd round of the playoffs, then guess what? You're done. You're done. Go home, pack it in for the year. If you're Florida State and you got all the way to the freaking college Super Bowl, congratulations, you're playing it. Results driven. Game by freaking game. That's their dream anyway, is to get to the NFL. They might as well start playing like it and get ready for it.
Well, then, the biggest thing about that is you're going to hear about the, and we're going to get this argument soon where they're playing their college kids playing 14 or 15 football games a year. I know. But the thing is, they do it to lower levels. It starts off, them kids are playing, 14 games a year, 15 games a year to championship. Then you're talking, the smaller, smaller schools and the, it's like how they do it. It's 16 teams.
Yep, that's how it should be. And maybe top 6 out of each conference is too many. I don't know. I mean, I guess that would be 24. Maybe make it top 4.
Something's got to happen because it's just it's not working. It's just there's always somebody left out. And the sad thing is, when it goes to 12 teams, you're going to say there's all of a sudden going to be 5 teams saying we're number 12, and they'll be happy to be the 12th place team playing, number 5 because the top 4 get buys or however they're going to run it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing the top 8 SEC teams and then the other 4 conference winners play next year in the playoffs. Because that's all. As long as they keep it into the hands of humans voting, that's what it's going to be. How many SEC teams can we get in here? Well, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Auburn. They're maybe Texas and Oklahoma now, since they'll I don't know how the SEC is going to. I don't know how much love everybody's going to have for Oklahoma and Texas as they move into the SEC. But it's not going to change. It's going to be the same crap. It's just going to be more teams now. Instead of everybody complaining instead of a few teams complaining that they should have been number 4, you're going to have 9 or 10 teams complaining that they should be number 12. But I don't know. I think the human error aspect of it is just destroys it for us, as we've seen this year.
Marshawn Lynch was the running back. Get your chicken. Go get your chicken. And he, as far as like everybody get their opportunity, go get yours. And that's what these, that's the where we're living at as far as all the transfer portal thing. They're just trying to go. Honestly, they're young kids trying to get as much as they can. It's not about, to put their self-market themselves and put themselves in a better situation. So if they get money regardless if they don't make it as a pro. They already got some stacked bank account. So,
I mean, there was a time when a full ride or playing college football was about, hey, I don't have to pay for college. I mean, I would love to have gotten out of WVU with no student loans. You don't think law school was expensive for my wife? Holy hell, man. Like I would have loved it, but it's not about the education anymore. Okay. No. So if it's not going to be about the education, then make it like a professional system, because that's what it's about now. It's about the money. It's about wins, and it's about which school can buy which players to make their team the best. That's what they do in the NFL. They spend the money to get the best players they can to win a championship. And that's what they're doing in college now. Education be damned. So why cover it up anymore and pretend that it's something that it's not anymore? Turn it in.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's no reason to cover it up. There's no reason to pretend it's about education, because that's not what it is anymore. It's about I'm going to make as much money as I can while I'm here. And then if I don't get into the NFL, then I'll get my job with my degree, and that's fine. So you might as well just turn it into the NFL light, the G League for the NFL.
Well, I know for a fact we can argue this or not. Every year in and out, there's only 15, 20, maybe max that's going to win the national championship in football. There's nobody coming in. Rutgers will make, they're not, West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Pitt, none of us are making that run. And if you do, God bless you to come out of, nowhere, kind of like how TCU did last year, even though they got absolutely rolled in the ball game. Yeah. And that can't compete. There's literally only 20 teams that can truly compete in college for that national championship. And that's what I believe. And heard something else that sponsors had some stuff to do with this college playoff announcement because they did not want Florida State in because of the competitive the competitiveness, because people turned the game off last year, national championship game, when Georgia was up 45-0 at halftime. And they were scared to death that something like that was going to happen with Virginia Tech. I heard it.
Oh, you're talking about for our bowl game?
No, not for our bowl game.
But you said Virginia Tech. I thought you were talking. You said Virginia Tech. You meant Florida State?
No. That this year that had something to do with Florida State not getting in.
Right.
Competitiveness, the competitiveness level of playing Alabama or Georgia or Texas, Washington, that they were afraid to let them in, and all the money that the sponsors have, next thing you know, the games, Florida State's getting absolutely wrecked and people turn the game off. And kind of like how TCU did last year in the national championship.
So something that I heard that kind of goes hand in hand with what you just said was that the committee the night before, Sunday or Saturday night, I should say, voted something like 7 or 8 times through the evening. And they kept coming up kind of split between Bama, Florida State. So they said, all right, well, let's take the night off. We'll vote in the morning before the announcement. And then I heard they come back the next day and they voted twice. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe those sponsors did some calling. Maybe these people that control the powers that be, made some calls to some of these people that kept voting for Florida State and said, hey, this is how you're going to vote in the morning. Yeah. I mean, something had to have happened. And you can't tell me, you're going to tell me these people that voted 8 times for Florida State went to bed and magically woke up and thought, yeah, Florida State ain't right. Well, no, somebody made some phone calls that night.
Well, to the point, that truly did affect West Virginia's bowl game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How so?
Because, you think about it, Florida State's ACC, and with, the ACC, them not getting into the college playoff, it shifted other bowl games around, and it affected West Virginia's opponent because, I don't know the gist of it, but the Duke's Mayo Bowl isn't a Big 12 affiliate. So, I don't know why they went out to the Big 12 and said, let's grab West Virginia. But rumor had it to me that Duke's Mayo was contacting, okay, ACC, who are you sending? Because we're tied into this bowl with you. Who are you sending? And ACC wasn't releasing to Duke's Mayo, the board of directors, whoever, West Virginia's opponent. And it was like, okay, well, Virginia Tech. And they go, we don't want 8-4 West Virginia. There is a rivalry there with Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech 6-6. That's Virginia Tech we playing up too high.
That game would have been over by halftime.
And, run them. Just run them. And so then it was like, okay, who's next? It was like NC State. Well, NC State, West Virginia. Okay, you know what? We really enjoyed having North Carolina from, where's Charlotte? It's in North Carolina. So there, you know what? Let's just go this route. We can have North Carolina. Their fan base is here. They were here just a couple years ago, lost to South Carolina, but it was a good competitive, thing. And the stadium sold out, and that, everybody made their money, everybody, whatever happened to it. But let's make this happen. So then, it's West Virginia, North Carolina. So that's just, I don't know the whole gist of it. It's just why I was getting my hair cut. That's all.
I think it's going to be a fun bowl game. I really do. I think it's going to be competitive.
I can't wait.
I kind of, regrettably almost regret going on vacation. I'm going to be on vacation during the bowl game, so I will be watching out in the middle of the ocean somewhere in a bar on a cruise ship. But I kind of wish I could have went. I'm down in Charlotte a lot for work anyway, so might even been able to turn it into a work trip.
I'm leaving the 26th, the morning of the 26th. I'm gonna go into work for about an hour, and probably about 8 o'clock in the morning. Me and one of my buddies is taking off out of here and leaving Morgantown at probably about 8, and we'll be down in Charlotte, staying at JW Marriott. So, and I guess that place is a quarter mile away from the stadium. From what my buddy's made all the plans, and I'm just kind of like, hey, dude, you make the plans, and I'll hand you cash. So, he's made the plans. I guess we just we're recording this on the 10th, so he just he bought the tickets the day of. I mean, he booked the room the day of the announcement last Sunday, and he just ordered tickets. He pissed around, and they were actually cheaper. I'm sitting on about the 30-yard line on the North Carolina side, so it doesn't bother me. So I'm just hoping for good weather. That's all I want. So anybody who's sitting on West Virginia side, I'll probably be the dude screaming on the 25, 30-yard line of North Carolina side.
Dude, that's funny. Well, I don't know. I never had any major interaction with any UNC fans. So, but from what I have understood, the selling of tickets has been very lopsided in favor of West Virginia.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah, they sold out the entire bottom allotment, and I read that they opened the upper deck today. I think they decided today to open up the upper deck and sell more tickets. So I really think it's going to be dang near like a home game for the boys. I mean, they're going to have a lot of support down there. I think it's going to be a fun game, and I hope it's competitive. I want us to win, obviously.
I'm not.
I don't know, man.
I'm not going to drop my telephone number on this fool. But if those who are tailgating, let me know where you're at, what bars you're going to, hanging out at, whatever the festivities are down there. Look at, I'm saying, drop us something on the Twitter X, and so I'll see if I can get down with some of y'all.
Heck yeah, man, it'd be awesome. I'm jealous. I wish. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of vacation. I think the wife might not like that very much, so I think I'm bound to it. But I am jealous of it. One being so close. I mean, Charlotte from Charleston, man, I can get there in 4 hours. I drive it all the time for work. I fly it sometimes. Talk my boss and let me do it and don't feel like the drive. But it's really close. So I'm excited for the boys. I think it's going to be fun. One last thing here I want to ask you about. You ready?
Yeah.
Coaching carousel. Jordan Leslie. Maybe not going to be our defensive coordinator next year.
Rumor has it.
Laney's rumor mill.
Yeah. Rumor has it that Jordan Leslie is going to get an interview at Troy for the head coaching vacancy.
Ooh, hey, he could take Neil Brown with him, and he can take Neil as his offensive coordinator. This is great. This is perfect. And then we can hire Jimbo. See, it all works out in the end. There's a fate. It's fate right here, okay? That's what this is.
But, yeah, I guess it's between there's his name's on the top of the list and the defensive back coach at Auburn. I guess he played there. His name, I don't know his name, but he's on the list also. Man, the coaching carousel, we went through this before we started recording. It's a juggernaut. It looks like the FBI, like when you put strings together of like on a map, who went where, who's coaching, and we knew it. We all know it. This time of year, it goes down every year just about. But
Right.
my goodness, the amount of movement with Manny Diaz, taking the Duke job. Now Penn State's going to be looking for another badass defensive, coordinator. Yeah, and new head coaches taking guys becoming head coaches that's never been head coaches before. It also movement within. You got like the Tulane coach, and it all, the Tulane coach goes to Houston. Now there's a open job at Tulane. Tulane hires the coach from Troy. Troy now has an opening position. So it's kind of like just a movement of checkers or chess pieces or, and just goes back and forth. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And, some guys are going to flourish. And because there always is that next guy that's like, man, he came out of nowhere. Well, he's, 38-year-old was an OC. Then he worked his way. Next thing you know, he's Rich Rodriguez. Next thing you know, he's Hugh Freeze. Next thing you know, he's Jimbo Fisher. Next thing you know, he's, that next guy's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah,
the name has to come, and you can see the movement. So the next big name might have just got this job or that job. And I love it. It's awesome.
I mean, we thought the next big thing was going to be Neil Brown, and we see how that's turned out. So, just...
And you know what? Maybe he was just a slow world.
He's a late bloomer.
A late bloomer.
He's a late bloomer.
Got a lot of potential. That little fella have a lot of potential.
Wait till he gets all grown up. He's gonna be a hell of a coach. Yeah. Oh man, I love it.
He's like a sea monkey. Before you know it, he's taking over the whole aquarium.
Oh, it's good shit, Lane. It's good. Hey, I think that's going to do it for us here this week on Ear to Ear, guys. Again, we thank you guys that are following us out there.
You don't want to get into something else real quick?
Well, I don't know if we have the time, really.
Oh, okay.
We're running low on our time margin here.
All
right. I tell you what, let's mark this down, okay, guys. Okay. College softball, first thing we're going to talk about next week. Laney and I got some stuff we want to lay out about it, and I think this is a big thing with a lot of people out there in WVU Nation. So you got to slap that thigh and bring the heat, baby.
Oh, the heater, boy.
All right, no, you're right. You're right. Let's make a promise to all 5 of our constituents out here. Okay, college softball. First thing we're going to talk about next week. Laney and I got some stuff to go in on that. But thank you guys.
Go WVU facilities.
And yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
Softball.
Yeah, buddy. Man, we got a lot of stuff we always want to cover, man. I mean, we got content. We just need people to see it.
If people tell your friends, drop comments, we will see the comments what you want these 2 idiots to talk about, and we'll bring it up. And and there's nothing off limits really. We will go to the dark side with y'all.
Oh, we will. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we'll cover the stuff nobody else is going to want to cover.
Truth.
So, all right, cool. Well, that's what we'll do. College softball starting it off next episode. Thank you guys for following us. We hope you like what we're putting out there. We'll see you guys next week. Hope everybody has a good week.
Hit us up on Twitter. Like, subscribe, follow, and we hope we left you smiling ear to ear.